Those in charge released them to begin. Bella strained at the leash, eager to start the search, and Chris's pulse picked up speed. She'd stayed away far too long. After she'd taken a few steps, someone spoke a short distance behind her. "Glad I caught you. Sorry I'm late." The male voice brushed her mind with a vague sense of familiarity. She cast a glance over her shoulder, but couldn't see past the others in the party. "Glad you made it. I'll team you up with Christina Richards and her dog, Bella." At Teresa's words, Chris gave a tug on the leash. "Hold on, Bella." She waited for the others to disperse. When the newcomer turned to face her, her stomach did a free fall, then tightened into a solid knot. His jaw went slack, but he recovered instantly. A slow, easy smile spread across his face. He'd always had an infectious smile. She wasn't susceptible anymore. Chris squared her shoulders as Teresa led him in her direction. "Tony, this is Christina Richards and her dog Bella. Tony Sanderson." Tony nodded. "We've met. We were friends through high school, then lost touch." Friends? Was that what he called it? "Great, I'll let you get on your way." Chris set out again, letting Tony fall in next to her. She wouldn't wait on him, although she likely wouldn't have to. He looked like he could keep up with her just fine, even on her morning runs. He'd filled out nicely since high school, but other than that, and how the lines of his face had grown more mature, he hadn't changed a lot. His sandy blonde hair was as thick as ever, and those deep brown eyes still seemed to hold a hint of humor. "How have you been?" His question cut across her thoughts. "Okay." She focused her gaze straight ahead. She wouldn't make small talk. "How much do you know about what we're doing today?" "I know we're looking for a young woman who never returned from a wilderness camping trip. What else can you tell me?" She removed the paper she'd folded and stuffed into her pocket. "Here's her information. She was reported missing after she didn't show up for work yesterday." He read what she handed him and passed it back. "Where are we headed?" "We take the catwalk, then head northeast into the woods. Since she was off-grid, no one knows where she set up camp. She left her phone in her car, probably figuring she wouldn't have service anyway." Several minutes passed in silence before he spoke again. "So, you're Richards now. You're married?" "No." He'd probably assumed she was divorced and hadn't taken back her maiden name. She wouldn't bother to correct him. She wouldn't ask if he was married either, because she really didn't care. She'd work with him, though, and not let their past interfere with the job they had to do. A young woman was counting on them. Even if they were paired up on future searches, she'd deal with it professionally. As they moved along the catwalk, they were silent except for the clomp of their shoes against the wooden planks. Bella trotted as far ahead as the leash would allow, tail wagging. Sounds of the swamp surrounded them, the calls of birds, the buzz of insects, and the occasional croak of an alligator. When the catwalk ended, Chris consulted her GPS and headed into the woods. A rustle sounded some distance to their right, likely one or two of the other volunteers. Her own search area was still some distance away. Finally, she checked her GPS again and gave Tony a nod. "We're getting close." She knelt next to Bella and held the t-shirt she'd been given in front of the golden retriever's face. After the dog gave it several sniffs, Chris straightened. "Bella, search." The dog's demeanor shot from carefree to focused. She moved forward, nose sniffing the air, head swinging side to side, as she tried to pick up the scent. Chris led her in a broad zigzag pattern, covering the area thoroughly. Watching her dog wrapped up in the joy of the search, she could almost pretend they were alone. Until Tony broke the silence. "I love watching..."